When you change productivity, let's say you halve the cost of electricity, you double productivity. Now you've got AI and robots on top. So what we're going to end up in is la la land in economic terms. Economies we don't understand. And it's not in 20 years' time, the old predictions we used to see. This is like, it's happening in front of our eyes. I think we've got about 6 years. I put 2030 as a rough date when we don't begin to understand how the fuck anything works. And so therefore, I would like to be on the other side of that, protected, which is you got the house that you want, you got the lifestyle that you want, and you don't have to be part of the economic machine. People are only seeing this right now as, oh, there's a new source of demand for this company. What they're not seeing, they're just not seeing it, is this is a wholesale change in the economy, society, and everything else. That this is the biggest change we've ever gone through. They will see it, and we will end up with a full-blown bubble cycle at some point as people understand what the fuck is happening. But they're so far behind understanding it. I can see how Tesla is trading. People just don't understand the scale of this thing.
Raoul begins by contextualizing the concept of exponential growth in technology, specifically pointing out how AI, robotics, and renewable energy are all advancing at a pace that's challenging our capacity to adapt. He calls this collective phenomenon the Exponential Age, arguing that humanity has never seen such rapid shifts, especially as these technologies start to blend and enhance one another. Unlike previous industrial revolutions where change happened gradually, this time the transformations are occurring at hyperspeed. Raoul discusses the breakdown of traditional growth drivers like population growth and debt expansion, both of which are either slowing or unsustainable. GDP, traditionally driven by these two factors alongside productivity, faces stagnation. Developed nations are experiencing lower birth rates and debt accumulation has reached unsustainable levels. But Raoul presents a game changer: AI and robotics.
Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
We've got this kind of group of technologies that are in full tilt acceleration mode when we get to full adoption of these technologies. So that's AI, robotics, renewable energy sources, genetic sciences. It's a whole bunch of these technologies, including blockchain, that are all hyper accelerating at the same time. So, okay, fine. So the exponential age is really all about, this is the fastest, largest pace of change of technology that humanity will ever go through. And it's probably an entire reworking of society itself and the economy. So what do I mean about the economy? This is this 6-7 years business. Is really, it's to do with how the economic machine works. Basically, GDP growth is driven by population growth, productivity growth, and debt growth. Debt growth has basically stopped except refinancing of old debts. Then we've got population growth. Every country in the developed world is seeing collapsing population growth. So therefore, they should see collapsing GDP growth. But you've got all this debts, and we've been adding to the debts to try and counterbalance this. This has been this big super trend we've seen. And then productivity growth, because of all the old people, has collapsed as well. So what we have is non-productive, slowing economies based around demographics. Then something has just happened, which was we've just introduced infinite human knowledge and infinite humans into the economy, which is AI plus robots. People don't yet understand what this means, but we're based on a services-based knowledge economy. Manufacturing was already being replaced by machines, but this is replacing everything. Now, there's two sides of that. One is the doom of, oh my God, what are humans going to do? I worry less about that. I more think, what the fuck does it mean for the economy if we've got infinite growth of humans? So if generally, let's say, population growth or immigration growth, whatever, is at 1%, 2%, 3%, right? And trend rate of GDP has been averaging of like 1.75 in the US. If you suddenly throw in 1 billion AIs, and 1 billion robots, you've kind of added 25% of the population of the world. Now, it's not one for one match, but what it does is suddenly create outsized economic growth, but in ways we don't understand. The other part of it is productivity. Productivity I think of as the amount of output per unit of energy. Electricity is the generalized energy, and what we're doing is lowering the cost of energy via renewables. People don't see it yet, they don't believe it yet, but what you see of every technological curve is they're all collapsing in cost and the output's going up. So electricity growth via renewables is just an exponential curve. And Elon's been talking about this, others have been talking about this. It will, within the next 10 years or so, it'll be the largest source of energy on the planet. And then we've got nuclear and other stuff to come into it. When you change productivity, let's say you halve the cost of electricity, you double productivity. Now you've got AI and robots on top. So what we're going to end up in is la la land in economic terms. Economies we don't understand. And it's not in 20 years' time, the old predictions we used to see. This is like, it's happening in front of our eyes. So then what happens when you've got these technologies doing this? Well, we don't really know. We're already seeing things like, what is a company when you've got AI agents? What does that mean? What do financial markets mean? How does venture capital work? How does private equity work? How do IPO markets work when companies get disrupted? What is software? If you think about the growth of what we know as the technology sector, it's all been software. But that software you can instantly replicate using a more powerful AI. And AI is building its own AI. So it just gets faster and faster and faster. The costs of compute, costs of electricity keep coming down. And you've created different economic systems and different economic actors that didn't exist before. So we don't know what returns look like from markets. I think markets, when you've got, let's say you invent a incredible new software tool, I just stick it into my AI, it copies it immediately, improves on it. Okay, I can do that in 3 minutes. So then what is a business? How do you value a business? Well, it all becomes about attention, something you and I have talked about, and how long you can keep attention. And so companies start trading a lot more like ICOs or meme coins. And the capital structure of markets change. Now also, Beeple asked me a great question, which was, well, what happens if somebody gets AGI and trains it on markets? Surely they're just going to make $10 trillion and win everything. And it's probably true. Right? How do we compete in markets when something vastly more intelligent than us? If you think of the average AI right now as an intelligence, an IQ of about 120, I think is the new ChatGPT and Sonnet 3.5. It's going to go to 400 to 1,000 and then to 1,000,000. So we can't comprehend what any of this means. And so in the end, I think we've got about 6 years. I put 2030 as a rough date when we don't begin to understand how the fuck anything works. And so therefore, I would like to be on the other side of that, protected, which is you got the house that you want, you got the lifestyle that you want, and you don't have to be part of the economic machine.
Reflecting on the generational theory from the fourth turning, Raoul suggests that we're on the cusp of an era that will radically redefine society, governance, and the economy. With AGI potentially reaching levels far surpassing human intelligence, Raoul argues that AI might eventually take over governmental roles, handling resource distribution, taxation, and other complex societal functions. This transition could lead to a government model led by an AGI that possesses unparalleled efficiency and fairness. Yet, Raoul warns, we're only beginning to understand these implications, with a mere 6 years left before 2030, when he predicts this transformation will be fully underway.
Yeah, I think people are only seeing this right now as, oh, there's a new source of demand for this company. What they're not seeing, they're just not seeing it, is this is a wholesale change in the economy, society, and everything else. That this is the biggest change we've ever gone through. They will see it, and we will end up with a full-blown bubble cycle at some point as people understand what the fuck is happening. But they're so far behind understanding it. I can see how Tesla is trading. People just don't understand the scale of this thing. And so they can only make sense of it by investing in Nvidia or saying, oh, Nvidia's a bubble. That's basically the whole AI thing in a nutshell. Oh, nobody's using it yet. Well, you don't want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a banker, a trader, anybody, and admit, holy fuck, this thing's coming, and it's going to be better than me in everything I do. And so they're incentivized not to see it, but that moment will come, that tipping point will come, where people will start realizing, both with blockchain technology, where it's not just about money, but it's about the internet itself, and they'll see it with AI, that this is the kind of future of humanity, and we are going to merge with the machines. My working thesis is we're going to split into two groups. We think politics now, left and right, and those are basically, we've gone so polarized because of this demographic issue. So basically everybody's feeling left out. Nobody's making the money. The American dream or whatever dream died on them. But I can't remember where I was going with that. But yes, I think humanity splits into the accelerationists and the decelerationist. We will see, this will be the biggest political battle, I think, of the 2030 election, is actually going to be about how do we want to interact with this thing? There'll be a group of people who say, well, look, I've already got my Apple Watch, I've already got my phone, give me the implants, give me this, give me longer life, give me the superpower of all the AI, I want the AI to run governments and companies and everything else, and a bunch of other people who are saying, no fucking way. And that is going to be the biggest political battle, I think, of our lifetimes. If Trump gets in, basically Silicon Valley threw their money around and have taken control of the Republican Party. Now, if he gets in, nothing's going to stop them for 4 years, or at least 2.
Especially, if you get a Republican sweep too.
Yeah, I mean, then it's full tilt acceleration. So everyone's going to be playing catch up. Europeans have been trying to throttle it as fast as possible because they don't know. But the answer is not. It's very difficult to regulate a decentralized system like open source AI. As the same with blockchain, right? We've seen this endlessly. Everyone comes in, tries to ban it, and it just doesn't work. So they're going to have to think about how to live with it. And the thing is going to be is, who are these companies? How do we tax them? It then becomes a national security issue. What is our AGI like versus China? Where does Europe then fit in when it hasn't built its own nuclear weapon of humanity? So a lot of this is yet to play out, I think. But these are going to be incredibly crucial. I think we're going to get left behind from regulation, which may be a good thing, because then we're going to have to come at it with fresh eyes to realize the system has changed, that we can't shoehorn this technology into an old system. It's kind of, when you reread The Fourth Turning, which I do at least every year, this is it. This is what the whole new system is. When you've got an AGI with an IQ of 1,000, well, it should run governments. It should distribute resources. It should figure out the taxation system. Of course it should, because it's better than any of us at everything. But again, people don't really understand this, but 6 years, we're pretty damn close to that happening.
Raoul's insights paint a vivid, if somewhat dizzying, picture of the future. One where technological growth fundamentally reshapes our economic, political, and societal structures. The exponential age promises advancements beyond our wildest dreams, but it also brings challenges we must prepare for, from economic restructuring to societal polarization. The future, according to Raoul, is approaching faster than we think, and the time to understand and adapt to this new reality is now. As we look to 2030 and beyond, the question remains, are we ready to navigate this new, accelerated world? Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more expert insights into the world of technology, economics, and society.
Please like and subscribe my channel.